This is the first Labrynth list that I've seen actually competing in the OCG. Heroes decide that they want to, try to make Dark Law and keep up with tier elements, and of course, the rest of the usual metagame shenanigans. Make 30% of you guys have not smashed the living crap out of that subscribe button. Smash it so we can climb up the 100k ladder here. I haven't seen a lot of Labrynth content. This deck kind of set itself up as like a relatively cool control deck, and then just kind of disappeared. After the really big power creeping that the OCG got here, I'm not really surprised to see that these decks basically got devastated and basically forced back really hard. But to see the Labrynth got the chance to keep up in a tournament, actually kind of interesting. So we have triple copies of Absolute King, Backjack, triple copies of Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring. We have one copy of the Chandelure, two copies of Mommy. We have triple copies of Ariana, and one copy of the Stove. Oh boy, my favorite. We have triple copies of Maxi, wish we had this card. Two copies of Labrynth. Gotta love the play on words. Triple copies of Pot of Extra for draw power, with two copies of Prosperity for filtering. Two copies of Super Poly, because God knows you're going to need this card in order to keep up. We have two copies of Compulsory Evacuation Device, two Different Dimension Ground, two D-Berry, that's actually an interesting inclusion. We have two Punishments, triple Imperm, one Trap Trick, and triple copies of Welcome Labrynth. Remember, special summoning Labrynth from your deck, and then basically punishing the opponent via your interaction effects, actually is pretty darn good. Alright, down here in the extra, we have one Underworld Goddess, one Frigette, one Linkaribo, one Unicorn with one Phoenix, one copy of Cerberus, one copy of Troubled Sunny for the Artemis Slay combo, because you love to be able to drop that, take out an extra card. We have one Dehark, one Wind Pegasus, one Mud, one Scold, two Ripple and Intis, and one Earth Golem. Then we have triple copies of Dimension Shifty, one Kishi Sakil, triple Lord, triple Artemis Slay, one Feather Duster, one D-Berry, and triple copies of Solemn Judgment here, wrapping up our Labrynth theme. Next up here is Heroes. Now, Heroes, they do have a couple of things that we don't quite have yet, like Wake Up Your Elemental Hero. It's an Elemental Hero fusion plus a Warrior monster. Gains 300 attack for each fusion material used to summon it. And this card can make a number of attacks on monsters during each battle phase, up to the number of fusion monsters used for its fusion summon. And if it battled a monster, have damage calculation, destroy that monster. And if you do, inflict damage to your opponent equal to that original monster's attack. And if this fusion summon card is destroyed, special summon a warrior from your hand or deck. So it basically floats into something universally good. But the reason why this deck is able to kind of keep up, it's because of this card right here. During a whole tier elements format, you definitely need some love power here. So we have triple copies of Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring, one copy of Denier, two copies of Malicious, one Plasma, one Liquid Soldier, two copies of Shadow Mist, we have one Solid Soldier, two Stratos with triple Maxi, we have triple copies of Faris, two copies of Increase Man, we have two copies of Vion, triple copies of A Hero Lives, two copies of Called by the Grave, one Croissant Designator, two copies of E, we have one Fusion Destiny, triple Mash Change with one Miracle Fusion, two Poly, one Prosperity with one Rhoda, with one copy of Talents, with triple copies of Rivalry of the Warlords here. Then in the extract we have one Wonder Driver, one Dread Decimator, two Cross Crusaders, one Almirage actually. Hey, this gives you a specific interaction for protection. We have one Wake Up Your Elemental Hero, one Dion, two Dark Laws with one Blast, one Anki, one Sunrise, one Escuridao, the one DP, and the one Dangerous. And then we have triple Dark Ruler, one Heartbeast Feather Duster, two Lightning Storm, two Anti-Scam, triple Evenly Matched, one Red Reboot, and triple copies of Solemn Judgment Man here, wrapping up your anti-hero fun stuff. Yay. Next up here is Tri-Brigade with the Splight package. Now, a few of you guys watched the recent video where I was talking about the Splight Tri-Brigade deck with the Dark Deceptor for day one of the 12 days of deck profiles. Now, little revision to this. I wanted to show this list so people got a little bit more of an idea of what they can do. They don't have Hulk anymore in the OCG, but they still have Yield Dragon Buster Lock. So taking a step back here and looking at removing the Buster package from this deck, this should give you a good idea of how this deck aims to interact and basically do some of the plays it wants to do. So we have triple copies of Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring, 2 DD Crows, 1 copy of the Dragon Buster Sword, triple copies of Maxi, we have triple Splite Blue, 1 Carrot, 2 Jets with the 1 Splite Red, 2 copies of Froctal with 2 Karas, we have triple copies of Kit, triple copies of Nerval, 2 Called by the Grave, 1 Crossout Designator, 2 copies of Tenki, the 1 Splite Smashers, triple copies of Splite Starter, and we have 2 Talents, triple Imperm, and 1 copy of the best card in the deck, Revolt, so you can basically trigger off and laugh at your opponent. Down in the extract, we have 1 Union Carrier, the 1 Shirog, the 1 Rugal, the 1 Frigette with the 1 Bear Broom. We have 1 Splite Elf with 1 Lightheart here. This is actually a Link 1 that you can bring out off of your friends. Interactions. We have 1 Almirage with the 1 Apo, the 1 Double Dragon Lords, 1 Axis Code with the 1 Sky Cavalry, the 1 Spite Gigantic, 1 Downard, and 1 Zeus. Our side deck here is 1 Alpha, 1 Pinkertops, triple Dark Ruler, 1 Feather Duster, triple Lightning Storm, triple Anti-Spell Fragrance, 1 Red Reboot, and 2 copies of the Solemn Judgment Man here, wrapping up your very interesting Splite take here. Next up is Thunder Dragons. Holy crap, man. I understand that, yes, the OCG still has Colossus, but to see this deck still keep up in the OCG metagame is nothing really short of a miracle, to be honest with you. And it takes, I would say, a lot of skill and a lot of, deck building to, see this deck kind of keep up. I'm actually glad we could see the Thunder Dragon Lord here actually seeing some play too. So yeah, this is what a devastating deck can do, and yeah, the old Dimensional Fissure here doing its job. So we have triple copies of Aloof Lupine, triple copies of Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring, 2 Battery Man Solars, we have triple Dimension Shifter, triple copies of Maxi, triple copies of everybody's favorite brick, triple copies of Thunder Dragon Dark, 1 Duo with the 1 Dragon Hawk, and then we have the 1 big Thunder Dragon Lord, triple copies of Dragon Matrix, triple copies of Thunder Dragon Roar, we have triple copies of Allure Darkness, 1 Gold Sark, 2 copies of Thunder Dragon Fusion, triple copies of Imperm, and yes, we actually have 2 copies of Summon Limit here. Now, Thunder Dragons can still operate and do what they want to do on a low amount of summons, especially, if you're slowing down the opponent from doing 30 different summons at a time. That's actually quite an interesting little interaction there by itself. But yeah, Summon Limit actually helps this deck out a lot, and yeah, it does cut it off a little bit from doing a larger amount of spamming options, but if your opponent's trying to do 35 summons in a turn, you can make do with it. We have 1 Relinquished Anima with 1 Lina, 1 Nightmare Unicorn with 1 Nightmare Phoenix, 1 Cerberus with 1 IP, 1 Dehark, 1 copy of Cross Sheep, 1 Apo, the 1 Axis Code, 1 Gustoff, triple Titan, 1 Colossus, and then we have 1 Pinkertops, 2 Ghost Ogre, triple Dimensional Fissure, which is the flavor of the week here. We have 1 Harpy's Feather Duster, 2 Lightning Storm, 2 Regeki, 2 Evenly Matched, and 2 copies of Solemn Judgment here, wrapping up our Thunder list. And the last as we have here is another Splite list here. This is going to be your very, very conventional Splite list in terms of what the new OCG standard is. After some of the more recent hits here, a lot of the OCG has gone down to the Dragon Buster Sword, unfortunately. So it's what happens when you kill Halki Fibrex and a lot of the other stuff, but for some reason you just decide that Union Hanger's the card to keep around here. So we have triple copies of Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring, the triple Deep Sea Diva, triple Dimension Shifter. We have 1 copy of Dragon Buster Sword, triple copies of Maxi with the 1 Ronin Totem, triple copies of Splite Blue, 1 Splite Carrot with triple Splite Elf, 2 copies of Splite Red, triple copies of Swappy Froggy, 2 Call by the Grave, 1 Croissant Designator, 2 Prosperities with the 1 Smashers, triple Starter, 2 copies of the Talents, and triple copies of Infinite Impermanence. Down in the extract, we have the 1 Union Carrier, the 1 Underworld Goddess, 2 copies of Splite Elf, 1 Avermax, 1 Unicorn with the 1 IP, oh my gosh, the Virus Swordsman. Okay, well, it is a generic link too. We have 1 Onibaru Sword, 1 Herald, 2 Gigantic Splite, 1 Downard, 1 Zeus, and the 1 Herald of the Arclight. Then we have 2 copies of Alpha, 1 Pinkertops with 2 Ghost Ogre, 2 Dark Roller, 1 Harpy's Feather Duster, triple Lightning Storm, 1 Red Reboot, and triple copies of Solemn Judgment here, wrapping up this chunk of awesome deck profiles for you guys. So what do you guys think this week? Please leave a comment down below to make sure you guys smash the crap out of that subscribe button. And I'll see your beautiful faces back here later in the day, guys. Peace out. Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.